Welcome to GKey Solutions Private Limited.
SQL Server Integration Services, classes and real-time interview questions and answers. Part 30. What is for loop container in SSIS?
In this part of training, we are going to discuss about what is for loop container in SSIS. A for loop container in SSIS, that is SQL Server Integration Services, is a control flow container that provides looping functionality, allowing tasks inside it to execute repeatedly until a specific condition is met. It is similar to the for loop found in programming languages like C# or Java. Purpose: the for loop container is used when you need to repeat a set of tasks a specified number of times or until a certain condition becomes true or false. There are key properties. First one would be initial expression. It defines the initialization, that is, set a counter variable to start a value. Evaluation expression defines the condition that controls the loop execution. The loop continues while this evaluates to true. Assign expression, it defines how the loop variable changes after each iteration. That means incrementing the counter. Let us see these things practically in SSIS. I am in SSIS trying to create a new package and renaming it to for loop container. Here in this process, what I am going to do is, there is a table called customer. It is having maximum 10 territory IDs. In customer table, there is a territory ID column which is having 10 territory IDs. For example, let us check for the territory ID 1 or 2 or 3 or something. 3. For territory ID 3, we are having 17 records. In such a way, each territory ID is having a bunch of records. By using for loop container, we are going to divide these records based on each territory ID, and we are going to load these records into 10 different files. Let us see how we can do by using SSIS package and by using for loop container. To do that, first we have to create some variables. Here I am trying to create 3 variables. First one would be folder path. I am giving this folder path would be and it is a string. Here I am just giving the folder path like D files, and second variable would be loop counter. It is we can take it as int, and I am initializing it to 1, and third one would be max territory ID, max territory ID. These are the 3 variables that I have created. First, I'll start with execute SQL task to get the maximum territory ID. Get max territory ID. Here in the connection, I'm going to take this from SQL Server. That means connection type is OLEDB, and here I'm trying to make a connection to GKey Solutions demo.GKey. Why? Because the customers table is in this database. Here I am trying to create like write a query by using SQL command select maximum territory ID from customer table. Once it is going to get the maximum territory ID is like 10, and we have to put give it to the variable. For that, we have to take a result set to a single, and here in result set we have to add that variable, and here max territory ID is the variable. It will going to from the query single result set, it will get this maximum territory ID. It is going to pass to the max territory ID variable here. First thing is done. Second, I'm going to take for loop container. I'm just connecting from here to here, and we'll configure the for loop container. Here, as we discussed in the previous slide, initial expression is like @ loop counter. Loop counter, I'm initializing it to 1, and second one would be loop counter evaluation expression, that will be up to what value we have to less than or equal to @max territory ID is the value. Here in first step we are initializing the loop counter to 1, and loop counter we are increasing up to max territory ID. That means max territory ID is 10. Up to 10 it is going to iterate, and assign value is like loop counter. It is the incremental value that we have to give. Loop counter is equal to loop counter plus 1. For each iteration it is going to add 1 in such a way it is going to increase the loop. This way we have configured the for loop properties, and while configuring these values, the variable name should be matched with this variable name that we have created, and that should be taken care here. I'm just cross verifying these are code now. Now what I'm going to do is we are just creating different files from a database. For in that situation the source would be like SQL Server. For that I am taking data flow task. Inside this I am taking OLDB source first. Why? Because we have to connect this. Here instead of taking table, I am just taking this select star from customer, where territory ID is version mark. Why? Because we have to map this with a parameter. The parameter is loop counter. Here we have created a parameter called a loop counter. Where is it? Yeah, loop counter parameter we have taken. Each time the loop counter value will be increased. Every time the value is going to be assigned. First time 1, second time 2, third time 3, up to 10 values are going to be assigned here. It will create a data set. Something like this. And now the main task, that is we have to load the data to the flat files. I'm just configuring it. Here to do that, one sample file I am creating here to initialize the process. Customer 1 is the first file that I'm trying to create here, and text or CSV, whatever you want. I'm just taking the CSV extension for this. Now for this I'm making a connection. I'm taking delimited file here. I'm browsing that file which is available, D files, and I'm taking column names in the first row. There is no data now. Mappings, it is good. This is the main part which is pending here. See, first time it is connected D files, customer 1, CSV. To get these things dynamic, we have to make the expressions ready here. And here we have to take connection string. We have to make a dynamic connection string. For that, what I'm going to do is here in double quotes plus first folder path. I'm taking these variables. To put the variables, we should have to put in double quotes plus. Inside that we have to take the folder path. Now I'm taking the folder path. Just evaluate expression D files. Now we are in D files. Here D files, then where we have to get, then customer also a hard coded value. Then we have to take the variable again. Now we have to take the loop counter variable. Loop counter is a like integer value. We have to convert into a string value. For that I'm taking on conversion function dt underscore wstr comma 12 is the function that is going to convert this loop counter Then the extension is .csv. This is how by writing each thing you have to use this evaluate expression. Now the first iteration, it is going to take D files customer 1 CSV, and next time the loop counter is going to be increased to 2, then it will be loop customer 2, then it will be customer 3. In such a way it is going to create 10 different files in a D files location, like customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, based on the data which is available for each customer ID, like each territory. Now we have done this part. Now by configuring this package, we are getting maximum territory ID, we are giving it to this variable, and loop, for loop we have initiated all these things, and in data flow task we have made flat file connection dynamic. I'm trying to run this package now. The package got executed 10 times. Let us check the files. These are the 10 different files which has been created. Each file is having territory ID. See, this is the territory ID. This is the territory ID 1. For this is the like file with territory ID 1. This is the file with the territory ID 2. In such a way, up to 10 records with the territory ID 10. In these kind of requirements, you can go and use this for loop container, which used to have different functionalities by having initial, evaluation, and assigned expressions. It is like a for loop in the programming languages. I think you got some idea about this. For your convenience or practical purposes, I'll put this dynamic file expression thing also in a flat file, and I'll put in the description. You can use that. Thank you.
Stay connected with GKey IT solutions on all your favorite platforms. Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. Join the GKey community and grow your IT career with us.